Good morning. Today's Saturday, March 28, day number 2 of our stay-at-home order. If you weren't with us yesterday, the next 14 days or so leading up to Easter, every morning I'll be with you around 8 o'clock in the morning with a devotional thought for the day. Every evening at 7 p.m., David will be with us for a devotional thought in the evening. And his are centered around the narrative of Jesus leading up to Jerusalem and then leading up to the cross and the resurrection. And mine are loosely based on some verses in Philippians probably, or anything else that comes to mind during this season of stay at home and this unusual and new experience for all of us. And we just thought it was a good way to stay connected with you and be a fun way to kind of interact over the next couple weeks. I want to draw your attention again today to verse 27 of Philippians chapter 1. Yeah, I talked about it a little bit yesterday, but again, want to draw your attention to that same verse. And verse 27 says this, "Let your manner of life be worthy of the gospel of Christ." Another way to say that is, let the way you live represent well the one you love. Live in a way that reflects what our values are and who we love. I heard a pastor say it this way last week: when the story of COVID-19 is just a story we tell, let's make sure our stories are stories worth telling. Let's make sure we live in such a way that we reflect who it is that we love. And it's not that complicated, that we're living in such a way that people can tell that we love Jesus, or that at least Jesus can tell and we can tell that we love Jesus. I read a quote recently during this season from C.S. Lewis, one of my favorite writers, of course. And C.S. Lewis wrote something entitled "On Living in an Atomic Age." It was in the dawning of the atomic age when nuclear weapons were first developed, and that created a lot of fear and anxiety, not too dissimilar from what we're experiencing now. And people had great fear, expecting the worst and what was going to happen. And here's what C.S. Lewis had to say. "This is the first point to be made, and the first action to be taken is to pull ourselves together. If we're all going to be destroyed by an atom bomb, let that bomb, when it comes, find us doing sensible and human things, like praying, working, teaching, reading, listening to music, bathing the children, playing tennis, chatting to our friends over a pint and a game of darts, not huddled together like frightened sheep and thinking about bombs. They may break our bodies. A microbe can do that," he says, "but they need not dominate our minds." I think that's a profound way to think through it, that living a life worthy of the gospel of Christ is not being paralyzed by fear. It's not stopping everything that we are and everything that we do because of fear. Now, we are respecting the authorities, and we don't want to spread the virus, and so we're disciplining ourselves and obeying what the authorities say can prevent the virus from spreading. But we're not living in fear and immobilized by something that can kill us or can hurt us, because we live with eternal hope. And living with eternal hope is a way we display the gospel of Christ. It's living in a manner worthy of the gospel of Christ. And so today, as you do life, do some things that are normal. Do some things that you typically do, that are still within the guardrails of what the authorities are saying to us, but doing things that are typical and normal in your everyday routine or in your weekly routine. It's a Saturday, so maybe there are places you can go, maybe to the park. Again, obeying all the distancing rules that you need to maintain. But there are plenty of ways that you can participate in life and not be huddled in the ground the way he says it in his little, not huddled together like frightened sheep, but instead living life like confident believers in Jesus Christ. That's the way that we should live. That's living in a way worthy of the gospel of Christ. And I want to encourage you to do that today, and we'll see you back tomorrow. God bless you. Have a great Saturday, and see you tomorrow. Bye.